How we doing today? Good physical day of full padded work, and we played ball. I mean, we went right into it, and we this was a day of work. Tomorrow will be more preparation for the spring game on Saturday, but working second and third down situations, working team run, working some play action stuff, plays under pressure. The usual stuff you want to kind of finish off with at the end of spring ball, but we stayed off the ground. We went thud today, but it was physical. The guys really practiced with a lot of energy, and guys continue to push. We make it a kicking competition as well. So those guys did a nice job today getting after it, but just pushing forward.
Any clarification on the format for Saturday? Is it going to be a full game? Or?
It's going to be a game. We're going to play a game, and the special teams part of it, we'll thud that up. But when we start playing, we're going to start this whole game on live tackle, one team against another. Coaches on opposite sides, calling plays, getting them in, and playing ball and competing, which is what we got to do. Okay, so the spring game can never be something that's taken lightly. It can't be something that's just kind of a dress rehearsal. It is not. It is not. It is an extra day of work. It's the 15th practice that the NCAA grants us, and we will use it.
Did you split the teams yet?
We have. There's some trades going on behind the scenes.
How were they chosen?
Well, we didn't have a draft. That's the question. We made sure that we're putting our best against our best. We want to get something out of it. I know there's been different formats. Even we've used some different formats that maybe I kind of allowed myself to get talked into, and we're not going to do that. We're going to go split up the team so that the one offense ends up going against someone defense. So they're on opposite teams, and the two offenses against the two defense. But again, so in other words, those teams are dressed in their respective uniforms, respective sides of the field, respective locker rooms, and we're looking forward to these guys getting after it. We were out there, we were explaining to them the importance of what this game means, how we honor the military, how we honor our fans, right? An opportunity this spring for them to come out to see us, to honor the alumni. And a lot of guys are coming back, which is great to see, and we'll put it out again today to invite them all back, because that's so important, understanding what they have done and how high they set the bar, and it's our job to continue to work there and elevate it at some point. And then as well as, there's a lot of our own families are in town, right? My father-in-law's in the military, retired military, right? So it's that, and then plus, of course, it's a huge recruiting weekend, and all we want to do is show what we are and who we are, and the rest takes care of itself. We feel we have the best place in the country with the best fans and the best energy and passion, so we just be us, be who we are, and it should be a great weekend.
How important is the spring game from a recruiting standpoint? Is it one of the bigger weekends that you have over the year?
It is. It starts with the weather. Good start today. We'll get a weather report later. I'll make sure to send that out, but it will be clear skies, and we will be ready to get after it. It is because, it won't be up until, what is it? It's April 20th, right? I should remember that. My wife's birthday. I should mention that now for some points, because I won't see her at all on Saturday. So, but up until the season, this will be the only time they have a chance to get a feel for what Autzen can be like, what our fans are like, what the environment in the community in the town is like, to see our players, our student athletes in action, and then interact with them, on the outside as well, right? So it's all these alum in town. There's a lot of juice. This is going to be treated like a game. We've been preparing for it like a game. Tomorrow, when those teams will split up, I'm sure they'll come up with a couple of creative plays to throw in the game as well, and we're going to get after it. We're going to play it out.
What do you personally look forward to the most for the spring game?
Competing and execution. The simplicity of blocking and tackling, throwing and catching, running, securing the football, trying to knock the ball out, getting aligned, knowing your assignment, playing with great pad level, with great technique and fundamentals, hands inside, and playing with passion. Using this as an opportunity to prepare for the season, and understanding that our season has some tremendous challenges to it. Both at home and on the road, and knowing that for us to get to where we want to get to, every single opportunity counts.
When you started the spring, you had an idea in mind where you wanted to be when spring ended. Now you got this final practice, spring game. Are you where you want to be? Is this team giving you what you wanted?
They've given us what we wanted in terms of passion and energy and effort. We will never answer that question saying that we've got. from a mentality standpoint, from a standard standpoint. You know, these guys themselves, you know, with the help of the coaching staff, have set a standard so high that it's almost impossible to get to. Okay, but it is reachable, but it's going to require every ounce of everything that we have. We want to keep elevating that thing, and we want to feel that we have to keep getting there, that we're not there yet, and that's the feel. Not trying to cliche it or trying to, you know, slogan it up or anything like that. It's just that, we've hit the reset button, we've elevated it, and it's a necessity for us. So let's keep doing it.
How is Cyrus and Darian kind of taking advantage of the opportunity with CJ not being full go for spring?
CJ's been full. I know I got that question last week, and I was a little bit like, something must be out there. CJ.
He's good.
Oh yeah, CJ has been full go. Did we hold him out a little bit early on? Absolutely. He got a lot of carries. You know, and a guy like that, you have to monitor where his body is at the end of. But CJ is like 100% full
So
go.
I guess then how is Cyrus?
Yeah, no, it's good that you bring that up, because that way we could always have transparency. We're never gonna, you know, violate that. Darian has come down. He's sick, so Darian is gonna miss the game on Saturday, and it's a shame because he was doing extremely well, but he came down with something just a couple of days ago, so he's it'd be tough to get him there for the game. He'll be on the sideline probably, but as long as it's not contagious. But but he's just going through, a lot of guys go through one of those bugs or whatnot. So, but no, CJ's good to go. Cyrus has been doing great. Can't say enough about Travis Dye. I mean, all those guys could do it in the run game. They could do it in the pass game. The best thing that they've done, and I wish you could sit in on a meeting with Coach Mastro, the way those backs work with Coach Mastro. I mean, protection has gone through the roof. These guys now hunt people up. They're more physical. Their bodies are more developed. They understand now what safety rotation means. They understand the bluffs by the secondary and the nickel better. And that's like a, you know, I'm talking about protection. That's why I'm happy, right? Protection. You got to protect the guy. These guys, they've taken that next step, and their recognition and their reaction to pressure.
Mastro said he felt like that was their biggest growth from fall camp of last year until now as pass pro. Is that?
Yeah, and, you know, probably that, and too is, you know, these guys, you know, Coach is very disciplined, Coach Mastro, about what these guys have to have their eyes on. I think what's happened now over time, the transformation, the process of the natural transformation of a running back, where when you get here at first, you know, it's like see a little and you know a little, and now that thing is opening up where they spatially can understand the whole thing conceptually. That's a big step for a running back. They now understand that certain fronts block certain ways. They still trust their eyes, they trust their process, but be ready for a guy to jump over and be able to hit a backside crease in the air B gap. So, no, they've can't say enough about. I'm always messing with them, always messing with them. You know, talking about we're gonna be able to run over a guy today, or we're gonna get knocked back the other way. So they're good guys.
Mario, teams are often gauged on their progress, always gauged on their progress. From last year to this year, how much has this team progressed in every aspect? Culture, physicality, the way they attack practice in the classroom. How's that been?
Yeah, I think another big step. I think last year was a really big step. I remember we had this talk last year and we felt it. We saw it. The film's not going to lie, right? The way that you handle yourself on and off the field, the way you handle yourself in the cafeteria, you know. I mean, if we walk in there and there's spinach on the floor and there's trays left out, that would be a problem. We don't do that. You know, if please and thank you aren't common words that are used often in our language and interactions, then I haven't done a good enough job. You know, we live a life of gratitude, and we understand that humbly we have a great opportunity. So I think the combination of that, the combination of another off season with those awesome strength coaches that we have and the development that has gone with it is, and then throw that in with expectations, for ourselves and knowing process and understanding them, you see another jump. And so then you create room for even more elevation. So it's, I mean, we're process oriented. So the answers aren't going to be very, they're not going to make any headlines. It's just what we do. Now we feel strong about it, and we do it with conviction, and that's always strong. So.
You say Darian's expected to miss Saturday. Any other players you think you'll be without?
We're going to assess a couple guys, to see how they came out today. Today was a physical day. Nothing major out there, but certainly, guys get nicked up. So as soon as we get that report, I'll be sure to get that out so that our guys can get it to you. But we don't expect much. We don't expect many guys to miss. Gary Baker, we've held out all spring but he looks really good. Like, we're confident he'll be joining us. Rockmorton today was he almost tried to jump in there. We're like, oh, Big Daddy, hold on. Oh, we need you for the season.
You've mentioned the new coaches quite a bit, but what's the dynamic been like with the staff, with Bobby taking over the tight ends as well as the special teams?
Yeah, Bobby's coached for a little bit. You know, he's. I think when you speak with Bobby, I think you guys know what you get is a genuine professional with a high level of passion and just a wealth of information that just makes people around him better as players and as coaches. And our players love him. Our players love him because the way he presents himself, because the way he connects with them. Yeah, I didn't recognize him the other day. He's out here swagged out of Nike stuff. I thought he was a teenager just running around and with his hat on backwards and all that stuff. But Robbie means so much to the program, and he's brought so much to the program that I think the transition has been a great one. His last tight end that he coached was O.J. Howard. He did okay, and I think he's going to continually just make that tight end position group better and better. And I think we saw that thing today. We had the perimeter block and drill. And we involved everybody, running backs, tight ends, receivers, and tremendous step in that direction.
Got time for a couple more.
Nick Saban let the media call a few plays at the Alabama spring game.
Did he?
How would you feel about
Is
us?
there a sign-up sheet out here?
Yeah, how would you feel about us taking over the keys of the offense?
You know what? I think it's a great idea. I want to make sure that none of our starters are in there when we do that. You know what? I think it's a good idea. Why don't we, we'll talk about it for the spring game, and I think it's 2036. We'll get all those plans drawn up.
Sounds good.
Got some good plays. We'll get
Triple
it going.
option, yeah.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
We know what you get out of Justin, but what do you want to see from your backups?
What we've been seeing all spring long. I can't say enough about Tyler Shuck. Want to see Kale play a little bit as well. Tyler has taken a significant step. I say that emphatically because of what we have seen. And a lot of times he's working behind, sometimes when the twos or ones get banged up, he's working behind the 3-0 line. And you've got some pretty good pass rushes on this team, and he's making things happen. He's negotiating throws and being creative and extending plays with his feet as well. And he's combined that with his presence, his command of the offense, making sure that young receivers are aligned correctly if they are not before the ball is snapped to prevent ourselves from getting a penalty. So we expect him to command the second offense just like we expect our first quarterback to command the first offense.
Mario, you mentioned your father-in-law, and then his service, and then your early service early in your life. I'm just curious what this means to you personally to be able to perform in front of our military men and women and have this game associated with our military.
We talked about it as a team out there. I don't think it's ever mentioned enough. I don't think we ever show enough gratitude for the military. We asked our guys out there how many of you guys have family members in the military. About 80% of those hands went up. And how many in the last 10, 12 years have experienced a deployment or something of that nature and all that stuff, and a bunch of hands were up as well. So it's something that we all take to heart. I take to heart. I know our staff does as well. It's the very least we can do. I mean, it's we need to do more, but this is a great start to it. Complete appreciation, honor, and love for what they do, the sacrifice they have made, and the sacrifice they will continue to make. And it's something that it's a tradition. When I first arrived here at Oregon, the first time I saw it, I was blown away. Like, wow, So it's awesome, and love it.